lives. Welcome to Center of Light Radio, Nancy. You're out.
Well, thanks for having me tonight, Keith.
You're absolutely welcome. Let me get right down to it. So how did you begin to walk this path? Like most people, or let's say a lot of people rather, a lot of people when they walk this path, Nancy, it's usually due to some sort of painful event in their life to where they're humbled or painted in a corner to where they have nothing else but to try something new. And it seems like the metaphysical, to use the word, or spiritual path usually happens because of that.
That's true, and it was that pretty much that way with me. I was, married in a bad marriage, 2 little girls, and you pick up my book and check it out. I talk about the story. I knelt down to pray because I didn't know what else to do at that point. And my prayer was answered. And I wasn't really thrilled with what the answer was. You know, I was in a difficult situation, and I prayed, and I learned that I had to get out there on my own, and I had to attract business and to myself in order to take care of my kids. I became a single mom, got into the real estate business, and I learned to work with the energy. I started with affirmations, and then I went on to visualizations, and then I started to study this stuff. How is it working? How am I attracting stuff to myself? Why am I able to do this? And then at one point, I learned how to attract things to myself, became very successful. This is kind of a short synopsis. But then at one point, my business stopped, and I went and spoke with a really cool Native American lady in New Mexico, because that's where I am from. And she told me about energy, and she told me about energy vampires and how people can affect your energy field, and how it actually had affected my business to the point where my energy wasn't flowing. People don't realize that we are made of energy, and everything is energy, and gossip and thoughts and words have power. And that's what I learned. And I learned how to protect myself, and I learned how to generate more business for myself. And then I started to delve into this kind of stuff and try to figure out, well, what's going on here? And then what I've come to the conclusion, and that's why I wrote the book, is to kind of share what I've learned with others, and that's that this energy is out there, and it is for our use, and we need to pay attention. We need to wake up. We've got some really, really bad energy swirling around out there right now, Keith, and we actually have the ability to change the vibration here. It may sound a little out there, ooey gooey, but let me tell you, we do. And that's why you see so much killings. Just on the television and the radio today, I noticed coming across, another shooting, another killing, and it's just crazy. And what's happening is negative energy begets more negative energy, you see. And the more negative energy that's out there and swirling around, it's just accumulating. And until we stop it and put a stop to this and start putting out good vibrations, we need to change it up. You know what I mean? And
so how do we go about doing that? How does one begin to go about changing their vibrations so they can see a different reality from what they're used to? Because we know that we create by default, so we might as well get with the conscious, deliberate program of creating. So how does one begin to clean up their energy fields and so forth?
Well, I'll give you some basics, and then we'll talk about the larger effect of this whole thing. Everybody has intuition. And we can all walk into a space and know whether it feels good or not. And I always tell people, clear your space. Now, I use sage because I'm in New Mexico, and we use white sage to clear. It's the properties within the sage smoke. I walk through my house. I say negative energy go, positive energy stay. I open a window or a door or both so the negative energy has a place to go, and I say, get out of here, and I clear my space. If you don't have sage, you can use cinnamon. It's very simple. Put a couple tablespoons of cinnamon in water on your stove and boil it. It's, again, the properties within the cinnamon, the steam that go out into the room that clear the negative energy. We have the ability to clear negative energy. We also have to stay away from negative people, you see, because negative people like light energetic people, and they want to suck our energy. And when you're around negative people, their negative vibes, whether you like it or not, or whether you believe it or not, attach to us. And so if you don't do anything if you're in a situation, let me just put it this way, where you have no choice and you're around negative people, say you're in an environment at work and that's the situation and you have no choice, come home and take a sea salt bath. Throw, a half a cup of sea salt in the tub and just soak and get some of that yucky negative energy off of you.
Nancy,
do some meditation.
Tell you about this.
I'm sorry?
The sea salt. I
Yeah.
have a sea salt lamp, and I absolutely love it, and I leave it on all the time. I never turn it off. And I kid you not, I can feel the energy, the calming, soothing that this very simple lamp brings to the room that it's in when I'm in the room. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And there's simple things, massage. I say everybody should get a massage at least once a month, if not twice a month. And what that does is it gets into your bones and your muscles, and you get some of that negative energy out. That's why when you get up, you're a little dizzy, and all the toxins, that came out of your body, all that stuff gets into our bones and into our muscles, and like I said, our tissue. And we're made up of energy, and we don't pay attention to that. We don't clear ourselves. So, yeah, the first thing is to clear yourself. The next thing that I really talk about that's huge is your words. What you say and what you think have vibrations. I know people talk about it, but it's the truth. And we really need to pay attention. All these negative words and all these negative thoughts go out into the universe. And the universe is set up in such a way that it responds to us. If we say, hey, we're going to have a great day today, the universe is like, yeah, we're going to give Nancy that great energy. But if I say, oh, my God, it's just going to be a terrible day today, then the universe responds accordingly. Does that make sense? So
Absolutely.
What happens is, so people aren't paying attention to what they're saying. Don't say I'll never be thin, or don't say I'll never be successful. Say I am successful, and I am thin. Whatever your deal is. But the thing is, we have to pay attention to our words. And all this negative verbiage that's out there right now, and all this negative thoughts is affecting our planet. And it's affecting each other. So can we all do something? Yes. Each of us can make a difference. Each of us can be a little nicer and a little kinder and a little more thoughtful, and think about what we say and think about what we think. Because it's going out there, and our world's really crazy right now.
Let me ask you this. Can our home, office, or car affect our energy levels? Can all those have an effect on,
Of course. Yes.
our vibration?
Yes, absolutely. And that's why I say it's so important to clear. If you don't want to use white sage, use cinnamon. I love white sage, though. If you want to put aromatherapy, it's wonderful. Use frankincense. Lavender in the bathtub, just to get off some of that yucky energy. A sugar scrub is fantastic to get off some of that yucky negative energy. There's so many things we can do to clear our space. Bless your house. There is a creator, there is a higher being than us. And so, say a prayer, do a little meditation, bring in the good energy. Because yes, where you're at affects you tremendously. And the people that are around you affect you too. And don't think, I just want to get this out there, don't think that gossip and things like that don't affect you. It absolutely does. And I tell people, put white light around yourself. Visualize yourself with white light or a gold net of light, whatever you're comfortable with. A lot of times I'll say do a gold net of light. That way the good vibes can get through and the bad vibes stay out,
Earlier when you were talking about doing certain things that could help you rid, or rather lift the vibrations of your home. We talked about salt. You talked about a few different things, but let me ask you this. Do you think that we can use anything that we want to do such things like lift the energy of our house? I mean, it's all self-created, yes? I mean, does the salt really have a physical reaction to the energy field, or can we make up these things? I mean, I'm very much aware that everything is intention. Could it change just by mere intention, or does the effects of, like what you said, salt and so forth, do they really
You know
have
what?
a cool characteristic
Yeah.
property that makes things change?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll give you a really good example, and it'll make total sense to you. Think about the battlefields, when the North and the South, think about the Civil War, right? You go onto these old battlefields, and this even happened to me in Scotland, because I'm Scottish, and I went to the battlefields there, the Battle of Culloden, and my family fought in it, and here I am, I'm in Scotland, I'm standing there, and you can feel the vibrations. You can feel it, because what happens is that energy imprints itself on that space, okay? Just like it happened. It's imprinted. When a tragedy happens, when death happens, in my mind, and this is my feeling on it, and I've read a lot, and this is what I feel intuitively as well, I just feel like that space is imprinted. And unless it's cleared, intentionally cleared, here we go, and you're correct with intention, then it remains. So it's the intention of clearing your space. It's the intention of clearing your home, clearing your car. And if you use something to help clear that air, I think it just helps. Do you know what I mean? Because it is. It's embedded. It's there. There is energies there. And you can't change it unless you make an effort to clear it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, absolutely. Your work and my work, they sound so very similar. Are you doing a lot of speaking engagements at this time?
You know what? I'm out there talking more with, I've done so many radio shows lately, and I am doing a lot of different, women talks and things like that. And I'm on the internet. I've got a lot of YouTube videos up. So I'm just trying to get the word out because let me tell you something. I'm really, really freaked out about the weather and the wars and the killings, because we actually have an ability to change this stuff, and people aren't paying attention. And that's where my book comes in, I guess. I just wake up, pay attention. Pay attention to what you're thinking, what you're saying, because all this negative stuff is swirling around, and it's creating all of this. And we actually have the opportunity to stop it. And I just would like to get the word out there that, change your attitude. I mean, really.
Totally, I agree. I think it's truly just that. It's a shift in attitude. And I'm sitting here looking at some of the notes that you have for me. And I love that you talk about how the spoken word affects our lives, because of anyone out there in YouTube land, go to YouTube and look up how sound creates form. And what you will see is someone has this big, huge plate of steel, and there's a speaker underneath. I guess you can call it a sound plate, and they throw white sand on it, and it's pretty amazing. As they go through these different frequencies, you'll see different sacred geometric shapes.
Yeah.
Being a musician.
And that's why music. That's why music
creates form. Being a musician, when I play music, people come out to hear the band. The people actually form in the club. They actually also form on the dance floor. So I'm totally with the program that you're talking about, how spoken word does affect our lives.
Exactly. And I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but I get so excited about this stuff, because music, that's another thing I talk about in my book, because it's the vibration. I do a chapter on music, and I talk about the International Harp Therapy Group, where these ladies and men go to, hospice and ICU units, and they play the harp. Okay, and what happens is there is it's been proven, I write the statistics, I think it's like a 29 to 39% decrease in pain for the patients, because what they're doing is the vibrations are balancing their chakras, their energy fields. And it's crazy. And the same thing happens with the singing bowls. I talk about the singing bowls and how they're helping cancer patients right now. And again, it's the vibration of these Tibetan bowls, which have been around for, thousands of years. And this is what they're used for. Another thing that I found out as I've researched is that, the Native Americans always used their rattles, right? But what they were doing is they were balancing your energy field. When you see one of the rattles and they're shaking it in front of a person, they're balancing their energy fields. That's what they're doing. And
Wow.
this
Oh,
is
I
really
didn't
getting
know that.
back to
That's very,
basics.
very cool.
Yeah, it is. And you know, if you think about it, we need to get back to basics. We are spiritual people in these bodies. We are not here to buy stuff. We are not here to look good. We are here to help each other and evolve as spiritual beings. And we've got it backwards.
How do I use universal energy for my benefit?
You can draw anything to yourself that you would like, as long as your intentions are good. But be careful what you wish for, and be careful with words, because whatever you say is what's going to come back.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for. You know, a lot of people are not clear when they go at the creative process, and they're not really, they haven't done a lot of work surrounding the process of creating, and we always get back what we ask for. There's nothing, I mean, the wishing tree loves us so much, we get everything, conscious or not. So I've always said
I
it's
giggle.
very, very important to be clear.
Right. Well, I giggle because, you know, I write this book because these are things that actually happened to me. I didn't like dream this stuff up, you know, and the story goes that I was a single mom for a long time, and, you know, eventually I wanted a relationship, and I'd say, okay, you know, I want this. Okay, I want that. And I wasn't specific, and I wasn't careful with my words, and I got everything I asked for. And then I learned, be really careful what you ask for, because whatever intention you put out, and your words do hold vibration. Your words have power. You know, that's what you're going to get. So I'm more selective when I speak. Let's just put it that way.
Would you give out your contact information to our listening audience at this time at the bottom of the hour? Let them know where they can find more about you and your phenomenal work, Miss Nancy.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. You can pick up my book. It's called Wake Up, The Universe is Speaking to You, and it's at barnesandnoble.com, and it's at amazon.com. And you can visit me at theenergyprofit.com. If you want to email me, you can send me an email. It's energygirlnancy@gmail.com.
Nancy, being a musician, as I mentioned a little earlier, I'm looking at a question for you, and it says, can music heal the body and balance people's energy fields? And we all know that. I mean, being a musician, I play music on stage. You'll see someone who's having a mediocre humdrum kind of a day. And boy, when the band fires off a song that they really like, the whole expression of the person, it just changes. In fact, my father is a musician. He's been playing for convalescent homes for over 30 years, twice a week, and never charges money. And so you have all these people who are slowly but surely dying and withering away. A lot of these have dementia and Alzheimer's. And, you know, they're not there. They're not present. And when my father begins to play these old Cajun folky songs of their childhood, oh my God, these people, the life in the back, it's like they're not even diseased or hospice anymore. It's pretty phenomenal stuff, yes?
It is, you know, and it really has, you know, we're in these bodies. Music is to the soul. You know, the heart 66 because the heart think are creating something. And that's why it's done. Even Om, you say Om, it changes how you, I know, and you sing, you know, and it's just when you get your car down the road and a really great song changes your vibration. And you know what? It changes. That's something that's really mentioned. Why another important energy so clear in your chakras clear from negativity because negative energy causes disease. This is that's when, you know, a lot of cancers and these type of things can set into the body. And, and I really believe that, um, that that's it's so important that we pay attention to our energy fields and clear our.
Well, watching the news on TV. And, and, and I know some, I know some people who will say, well, Keith, I'm, I'm pretty about spiritual. I can I can watch all the news and kind of just the time I'm away cooking. What are your thoughts about that?
Here's what I think. I think you have to be informed. You cannot close your mind and say, I drive me crazy. Let's say that. It drives me crazy when I say, I don't watch the news. I don't want negative. Well, you know what? There's a fine line between being and taking on the negativity. You need to be informed. You need to know what's going on. Informed opinion. You know, who knows some of the stuff in the news anyway. But watch it for opinion. Let it go. Don't hold on to it. You know, watch it all day and become obsessed with it. Every moderation. Watch the news, be informed, know what's going on. Use your mind. Know some of this may not be that's true. And other people don't know, you know, they, they, Yeah.